United States President Donald Trump recently celebrated 100 days of his second term in office. He told supporters at a rally that he's only just started and promised that more was still to come. He was referring to dramatic changes in policies and delivering on some promises he made while campaigning. Professor of African Politics at Unisa, Everisto Benyera, joins us now for more. Prof, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. How would you assess President Trump's first 100 days in office in terms of its impact on global politics and particularly in Africa?
Very impactful. Good morning to you and to the viewers. We have never had such an impactful president, both locally and internationally, like Donald Trump during his second term of office. He has scored a lot of firsts, especially with his approach towards the education sector, the universities, his approach towards trade, the use of tariffs as an instrument to induce negotiation, his redefined approach towards diplomacy and foreign policy, his views on the idea of belonging and citizenship, his views on the role of the state and how to gain and lose territory. Trump has been very impactful on the idea of the deconstruction of the administrative state and the rise of what we can call a transactional state, a deal-making state. Most importantly, he has reshaped the way that we look at leaders, away from caring people that protect the vulnerable from the strongest. Here we are now seeing a transactional leader who actually in some cases protects the strongest from the weak. His use of executive orders to punish, to reward, to reformulate the bureaucracy. This is something that is having a profound impact on Africa. Never mind the loss of aid. Look at how Tanzania, South Africa, and Malawi started banning each other's trade in agricultural goods. This is definitely the ripple effects of Trump 2.0.
It certainly is. And I mean, if we talk about the concept of a new world order, I mean, how would you define this and how it's manifesting under Trump's 100 days in office in terms of his leadership? And do you believe that the global is shifting towards, within this first 100 days of Trump, towards a more unilateralism way as opposed to multilateralism?
What we are witnessing under the leadership of Donald Trump is the resurgence of nationalism and the drawing back of globalization. It is very painful because since the world order that we have been having, the one that is post-World War II, it has been characterized by global integration, regional integration, multilateralism, the building of platforms where issues were threshed out diplomatically, where the nation was at times willing to give up its sovereignty to supranational organizations such as the European Union, such as NATO, such as SADC, such as, in some cases, the African Union. What we are seeing now is that the state is becoming the alpha and the omega. That there is this overemphasis on nationalism through the mantra of Make America Great Again, right. MAGA. And President Trump was very clear. He said, a promise made is a promise kept. And look at how he's closing the borders. Look at how he is imposing those tariffs, even on some of his long-standing allies. So indeed, we have a new world order that is taking shape. As of now, we are not sure what is going to be the final product. What we are sure about is that something new is in the making. We are sure that this could be the end of the administrative caring state as we know it, and that politics going forward would be more transactional and deal-making in the form of real estate transactions. So indeed, there is something new happening in the world.
So, Prof, speaking about those implications for global power dynamics, how might the reshaping of global alliances under Trump influence Africa's strategic positioning on the world stage?
Our our weak position on the world stage is going to become weaker because we have relied on our unity in Africa to go forward, and we lobby like-minded organizations or companies, or countries, so that we can present a united front. In some agenda, we were supported by China at the United Nations Security Council. Some we were supported by Russia at the United Nations Security Council. This will now change because under Trump, each state is treated as a stand-alone organization. So it will be America negotiating with South Africa, or America imposing sanctions and tariffs on South Africa. Look at how we are losing, or we are going to lose AGOA. Look at how the tariffs are individualized, and each country is receiving a different set of tariffs depending on how much the American government calculated the loss that it was going to make. But for me, the most important loss was that Africa suffered as a result of the withdrawal of many agencies in the United States that were doing some work in Africa. USID, for example, admitted there are some controversies regarding organizations such as USID, that while they presented a very good front, there could have been some some activities that they were doing that could be interpreted to have been undermining the governments in which they were working in. The short answer to your question is that Africa will actually lose more because we were beginning to benefit somehow from a multilateral world order. This unilateralism, this fragmentation is not good for Africa, both at home and abroad.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for your time. Certainly very interesting times these first 100 days have shown in terms of Trump's administration and his time in office. We certainly are going to be waiting and looking with bated breath with regards to what's next. Thank you so much for your time, Prof.